Spokane man shoots and kills a car thief, then calls it self-defense. Tonight, Jeff Humphrey shows us what happened to a shooter in a similar case. Well, it's been more than a week now since a Spokane plumber killed a thief stealing his car. Gail Gerlach shot Brendon Kaluza-Graham as he drove off in Gerlach's stolen Suburban. Now, prosecutors are trying to decide what criminal charges Gerlach should face. KXY4's Jeff Humphrey has the story.
We got a call at 5:28 from a person who said that there was some type of argument or dispute going on. A moment or two later, they said shots were fired.
24-year-old Joshua Smith was shot to death inside his car after speeding through this neighborhood and being confronted by Alan Turnipseed.
He told the young man to wait for the police, and unfortunately the young man then decided to drive his car at my client.
Turnipseed said he opened fire to keep from getting run over, but prosecutors argued the moment when Turnipseed could have shot Smith in self-defense was already over.
Had in fact gotten back in his car, had started his car, and was driving away when Mr. Turnipseed chased him down and shot him to death.
However, not everyone on Turnipseed's jury felt he had committed murder, and Turnipseed was acquitted. During Turnipseed's second trial, the jury was given the option of the alternate charge of first-degree manslaughter, and Turnipseed was convicted.
It's our understanding that the vehicle owner had the firearm on his person at the time of the car theft.
In last week's car theft shooting, police are not concerned that Gerlach was already armed. His lack of criminal history qualifies Gerlach for a concealed weapons permit. Instead, detectives are looking at if a threat still existed when Gerlach fired at the fleeing suspect.
This is a more complicated investigation than some as far as use of force, whether or not it was justified. So at this point, we are still compiling the rest of the investigation, and we'll confer with the prosecutor and move from there as to whether or not to submit charges.
And so if prosecutors do elect to go after Gail Gerlach for this car theft shooting, they may ask the jurors to consider that lesser charge of first-degree manslaughter. If he's found guilty of first-degree manslaughter, Gerlach Derek is looking at an average of 8 years in prison.
Yeah, and Jeff, there are so many people who think Gerlach has done nothing wrong here, and the car thief is really responsible for his own death.
And some of those supporters of this action could very well be the people that are sitting on Mr. Gerlach's jury. You know, Spokane juries have been very sympathetic to the self-defense claims. Look at Officer Jay Olson. He too thought he was chasing a car thief, and he was intoxicated, and even the jury acquitted him. And so you can see the very difficult decisions that prosecutors now have to face. Reporting live on the South Hill, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.